President Trump is on his period or something, so over the weekend, he tweeted, "Going to the White House is considered a great honor for a championship team. Stephen Curry is hesitating. Therefore, invitation is withdrawn." Okay, so that's a ridiculous thing to say because Steph Curry had already mentioned a while ago, I don't want to go to the White House. I'm not going to go. And he's doing it, yes, because he doesn't agree with Donald Trump. He doesn't agree with his policies. He thinks he's not a good president, not a good representative of the United States of America. So he said, look, I don't want to go. Now, I don't disagree with Steph Curry. In fact, I do the same thing. I just don't want to go meet a guy and hang out with the guy who advocated torture endlessly on the campaign trail, who said, we're going to take out their families, meaning you're going to use the U.S. military to purposefully kill the family members of terrorists, not just the terrorists. I want to fucking hang out with that guy. I want to hang out with this loathsome, vapid idiot whose first military act as president killed a young American girl. That's literal. His first raid as president was a botched raid that Obama refused to sign off, that he signed off immediately. So, do whatever you want. The military's tremendous. And they killed a young American girl. I'm going to go hang out with this. I'm not going to fucking hang out with this guy. I want nothing to do with this guy. So that's just somebody making a decision because it's a free country and you can go, hey, I don't want to go there, and you don't have to go there. It's that simple. So I agree with Steph Curry. I would have done the same fucking thing. I got no interest in going and hanging out with this fucking cretin. So Trump was hurt by that, because he loves, despite everything he barks about, he loves having other friends who are well-known people, who are powerful people, who are either other political people or celebrities or athletes. He loves it. He basks in it. He's a pop culture obsessive kind of person. He pretends like, no, I don't need them. I don't need stupid Hollywood. Deep down, it kills him inside that Hollywood lined up behind Hillary Clinton as opposed to him. Because he's been chasing that kind of fame his entire life, man. A reality show star. He puts himself in all the movies where they want to use one of his properties. He says, you can use my property, but I have to make a cameo appearance. He's obsessed with celebrity. So when somebody like Steph Curry says that, it hurts him. He doesn't like it. It triggers him. So he was just rejected, clearly, in no uncertain terms. So he goes, oh yeah? Well, I'm going to disinvite you because you're hesitating. He's not hesitating, motherfucker. He said, I just want to go. That's what he said. He's not hesitating. He said, I don't want to go. And so Trump is the guy who, the girlfriend breaks up with him, and he calls her back, and he's like, oh yeah? Well, look, I just want to be clear about something. I'm going to break up with you because things aren't going well. She just broke up with you. Fuck are you talking about? She just broke up with you. You called her back and said, oh yeah? Well, invitation withdraw. We're breaking up here. That's what we're going to do. Like, who do you think you're kidding, son? He's a fucking toddler. It's almost beyond belief how sad that is. People are making fun of this on Twitter. Some random guy was like, it's a very big honor for supermodels to date me. Kate Upton is hesitating. Therefore, invitation withdrawn. Like, that's what this is. That's exactly what the fuck this is. So LeBron James saw this, and LeBron James, normally a calm, cool, collected guy, he was like, what? That's the saddest thing I've ever seen. So LeBron James chimed in, and he goes on Twitter, you bum. Steph Curry already said he ain't going, so therefore ain't no invite. Going to White House was a great honor until you showed up. Now, allow me to disagree slightly here with LeBron James. No, it's a great honor. No, as Noam Chomsky said, if the Nuremberg laws were upheld, every post-World War II American president would be hanged. So, yes, Obama did drone strikes that killed 90% of the wrong people. George W. Bush with the illegal war in Iraq, illegal war in Afghanistan. I mean, torture at Guantanamo Bay. So, they're also criminals, too. They're just more polite as they go about it. So, I mean, yeah, I guess you can make the argument it's an honor just because it's our nation's fucking, it's where the president is and shit, and there's history there, whatever. You can make some sort of touchy-feely argument like that, but that's not me. I don't really buy that. I still think that you're dealing with people who've done horrendous things across the board, no matter how good they might seemingly be as a president. So I don't agree with him that, before it was so, so much integrity. Not really. But you could argue, hey, maybe it's less now. He's fed up. He's pissed. He's pissed about it. That's what LeBron James is. He's like, what a child this is. He's fucking lashing out at sports stars. Fall back, son. And then he also posted this video after the fallout. Take a look.
People, just giving y'all a little bit more in-depth insight about my tweet from earlier. You know, I think it's basically at a point where I'm kind of, you know, just a little frustrated, man. Just because this guy that we've put in charge has tried to divide us once again. And obviously, we all know what happened with Charlottesville and the divide that caused. And now it's even hitting more home for me now, even more because he's now using sports as the platform to try to divide us. And we all know how much sports brings us together, how much passion it has, how much we love and care, and you know, the friendships and everything that it creates. And for him to try to use this platform to divide us even more, it's not something I can stand for, and it's not something I can be quiet about. You know, you look at him kind of asking, you know, the NFL owners to get rid of players off the field because they're, you know, exercising their rights, and that's not right. And then, you know, when I wake up, I see that, you know, a colleague of mine has been uninvited of something that he said he didn't even want to go to in the first place, you know, to the White House. You know, that's just something I can't stand for, man. And we got, you know, Jamil Hill and Colin Kaepernick, and, you know, all these people are speaking up, and, you know, it's for the greater cause. It's for us to all come together. It's not about a division. It's not about dividing. We, as American people, need to actually just come together even more stronger, man, because this is a very critical time, and me being in the position I am, I had to voice this to y'all. So love y'all, man.
Okay, so Kobe Bryant also tweeted about this and, you know, was against Trump. And then you had Chris Paul, who really went after Trump as well. He's the head of the NBA Players Union. So I'm going to make a prediction. I think Donald Trump's approval rating at some point in his presidency will be lower than Bush's record low approval rating. And here's why. At first, when all this was happening, I thought, okay, everybody's outraged, but everybody who's a Trump supporter is going to circle the wagon. But then I saw the reaction from the NFL, and there were a lot of people who were big Trump supporters who donated a lot of money to Trump, who basically were saying similar things to the points that I've been making, which is like, okay, even if you don't agree with what Colin Kaepernick is doing, or anybody else who's taking a knee, even if you don't agree with them on the political issue, this is America. They have the freedom to do that, and it's wrong for you to threaten their livelihood and their job because they don't genuflect when you say so. So of course, there's still many people defending Trump, naturally, but there are way more people that are not defending him, and even people who were donors to Trump and big-time supporters of Trump who were like, yeah, I don't like this, and he's going too far. And by the way, this is all happening at a time when North Korea and we're at the brink of war with North Korea. I mean, Trump with his bombastic speech saying, I will totally destroy North Korea at the UN, and then North Korea saying, oh, no, it's on. Like, don't threaten us. Don't threaten us. And I've warned you from the beginning, the only time North Korea would ever do any kind of attack against Seoul or against the U.S., whether it's Guam or whatever, is if they feel cornered and they feel like it's inevitable the U.S. is going to go after them. And now the barking is at a fever pitch where even at the UN, the North Korean representative was like, it's now inevitable that we'll strike the U.S. And then Trump the other day had fighter jets fly closer to North Korea than they ever have. So that's another show of strength, which is just an escalation of war. So we're on the verge of another war with North Korea. Okay. Puerto Rico, which is a U.S. territory, was devastated by Hurricane Maria. The entire island, 90% of the island is without power. Trump hasn't said dick about that. So all these serious issues happening everywhere, the healthcare fight, and this idiot's picking a fight with a guy who's peacefully protesting by taking a knee in the NFL. So even Trump's own supporters are going, you know what, man? What are you doing? So my prediction is he will at some point have a lower approval rating than George W. Bush when Bush left office, he had a 22% approval rating. Trump will at least get to 21%. He will at least get to 21%. See, the thing is, of the people that voted for him, there's a solid block that will never leave him. So of the people that voted for him, maybe 25% to 40% would say, I'm never leaving him, because they view it kind of like a fundamentalist cult, and he's their dear leader and their God, and they'll defend him no matter what. But understand that 25 to 40% of the people that voted for him, that's not 25 to 40% of the country, because a much smaller percentage of the country actually voted for him. Only 9% of the American people got Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump through the primaries. So way more people didn't vote than did vote. And beforehand, they might have been a casual, they might have casually said, I guess I support the president, I'm right-leaning and whatever, he seems like he's busting up the establishment or something. But all those people now are going to go, you know what, man, pump your brakes. I don't know what you're doing here. So I think his approval rating is going to plummet even further. It's going to go, it's probably already at 20%, not 20, excuse me, 30% or 28% or something like that, depending on which poll you look at. I think it's going to go below 22% at one point or another. He's just an unserious guy. He's an unserious guy. He doesn't know how to focus on serious issues. And he doesn't know how to do anything but escalate shit. Like, that's another thing. That's all. He doesn't know how to do anything but escalate. He doesn't have an off button. He doesn't have a let me take a few steps back and reconsider this shit button. And sometimes that's a positive thing politically, but other times it's a massive liability. And in a situation like this, where you're arguing with NFL stars as the world is falling apart, the optics are horrendous, man, and that's why a lot of his own supporters are going, I'm not with you on this one, buddy. So we'll see what happens moving forward here, but there appears to be rather united opposition against his silliness.